Hello, my name is Heather Christopher, Technical Trainer for the Employee Training Department. This short tutorial demonstrates how to create a gradebook in Excel 2013. This video is for users who are new to Excel. We recommend watching the video once to completion and then again to pause and take notes as needed. For the best video quality, please click on the YouTube setting, seen here as a gear button, and select the highest HD quality setting available. Creating a gradebook in Excel Part 1. For the purpose of this training video, we will use a faculty class list downloaded from MyCNM to create a gradebook. We will cover topics such as formatting the page layout and formatting cells. In Part 2, we will demonstrate how to add formulas and multiple worksheets. You will need to have your syllabus handy to access your list of assignments and points available to be entered into your worksheet later in the tutorial. This is an example of a completed gradebook. Please keep in mind, during the formatting section, you do not have to follow my choice of formatting options. Please experiment to find your own choices. For example, you could use a larger font size, you could use a different color to highlight the assignment row, or use portrait instead of landscape for the page layout. With MyCNM open, click on the Instruction tab. Under the Web for Faculty channel, click the link. Click here to access the Faculty menu. Make sure the Faculty Services button is selected and click the Class List tile. Select the appropriate term and click Submit. Select the course and click Submit. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and click Faculty Class Download. Scroll down and click Download. If you are using Internet Explorer, you will get a Windows dialog box. Click Save. Select the correct location for your file, name the file, and then click Save. I will now open the saved file. Click the Start button and from the Startup menu, click Document. I will open my gradebook folder and double-click the Excel file to open it. Now we will make changes to the page layout to help make the gradebook easier to manipulate. Under the Page Layout tab, select Margins and select Narrow. Click Orientation and select Landscape. This will allow you to add more columns on the visible area of the worksheet that contains the gradebook. Next, we will set up a print header and show grid lines for printing purposes. I will demonstrate this because it will be easier to identify the gradebook when printing a hard copy. Under the Page Layout tab, put a check mark next to Print under Grid Lines in the Sheet Options group. Then click on Print Titles. The Page Setup window will open. Select the Header and Footer tab. Click on the Custom Header button. In the center section, type in your title. I will use the name and subject of the course. Once you have finished, click the Print Preview button. You can see the changes. Use the arrow in the upper left to go back to the worksheet. Now we will remove unnecessary columns and create new ones for the assignments and scores. Select the cells from A1 through E24 by first clicking on A1. Hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and select E24, and all the cells in between will be selected. I will use this method many times throughout the tutorial to select several cells at once. We will remove this data by right-clicking the selection and click Delete. From the menu, then select Shift Cells Left and click OK. Next, we will set up the first and last names in separate columns. Put your cursor between column A and B and double-click to widen the name column. Select the names from A2 through A24. Click the Data tab and select Text to Columns. Select Delimited and click Next. Uncheck the tab and put a check mark next to comma and then click Finish. Now I will switch the first and last names to show how to insert cut cells. This step is not necessary if you would like to leave the last name first in the sequence of columns. Select the first names and right-click the selection. And then in the selection, select Cut. Select the last names, right-click the selection and click Insert Cut Cells. This will move the names into the appropriate columns. Before we start entering assignments and scores from the syllabus, select row 1 and right-click the selection. Click Insert. Select A1 and B1. Click the Home tab at the top and click Merge and Center from the Alignment group. Here we will type in assignments. These rows will contain the assignments and scores. To save time, I have already entered the assignments and scores. Now we will format the cells that hold the assignments to make the gradebook easier to read, and there are many different ways to do this. After you have watched the video a few times and you're more comfortable with Excel, experiment with different formatting options. Now I will demonstrate how to highlight the row and change the alignment with orientation and wrap text. This will automatically adjust the width of the columns so that you can fit more information in the viewable area of the gradebook. First, we will select the assignment row and right-click the selection. Click Format Cells. Under the Alignment tab, put a check mark next to Wrap Text. Then we will move the orientation dial until the title is vertical. Under the Fill tab, select a pleasing color and click OK. Once back on the worksheet, we will use the double arrow between the columns to manually adjust the width. Now we've covered just a few options in formatting cells. The page layout changes that we've made so far may not fit all the assignments if you have 2 assignments per week for 15 weeks, as we see here. In order to make them fit, we may have to force the columns to fit the worksheet. I will demonstrate with the example shown here. First, we will click the Page Layout tab, then go to the Scale to Fit group. Next to Width and Height, we will select one page. We will preview the change by clicking File and then Print. Click the arrow in the upper left to go back to the worksheet. With so many rows and columns, you may not be able to keep an eye on the assignments as you scroll down to enter grades. So we will freeze the area that we want to keep visible. Select the cell that is beneath the column and row that you want to stay in place, then click the View tab. In the Windows group, click Freeze Panes. And from the drop-down menu, click Freeze Panes again. I will scroll up and down so that you can see the assignments are always visible. This concludes part 1 on how to create a gradebook in Excel. If you'd like to learn about other Office 2013 applications or see part 2 of this tutorial, go to our employee training website and from there click on the technical training link. If you have any difficulty with the concepts in this video, please call me at extension 51457 or email me at employeetraining@cnm.edu. Thank you.